Okay, quick little story time of how I dated a guy and I ended it very abruptly without regrets and definitely without hesitation. And I'm sharing this story in hopes that it helps someone else open their eyes to the character that we should be looking for when we are dating. And I'll preface this story with, I am not a relationship expert, nor do I claim to be. I am just a woman who has learned some things and some lessons the hard way. So I was dating this guy probably for about 4.5 months, and during the time that I was dating him, he would share these little stories of how his ex was combative with him, or his ex would put up some roadblocks preventing him from seeing the kids, or she just always gave him a hard time. And one day he was telling me a story of a situation where he was trying to make arrangements to see the kids, and she was giving him a hard time through text messages or whatever. And I told him, or I asked him as he was talking, I said, hey, is your information on the kids' school records? And he was like, yeah, I know where you're getting at with this. I can go pick the kids up from school, but I never go pick the kids up from school because she's always there in the car line. I don't want it to be no issues. That's her thing. She typically does. So what I did was I said, hey, if your name is on their school records, you can go up to the school, find out when they call to school, find out when they eat lunch. It's 25 minutes out of your day, and just go eat school lunch with them, right? And I said they will be so surprised and they would be excited to see you. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, man, that'll be good because, I haven't seen the kids in like 3.5 months, right? Right? Because his ex puts up all these roadblocks, right? And so fast forward, right? Fast forward 2 months, we were out to dinner, and he brought up another situation of he was trying to get the kids for the weekend. And he was like, yeah, I talked to their mom earlier, yada, 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 yada. And out of frustration, before he could get deep into telling me how this woman was being combative, I asked him, I looked over at him and I said, did you ever go eat lunch with the kids? And he looked at me and he said, no, I never made it up there. Y'all, that was the last time that man saw me. And
I'm going to stop her right there because this video is a little lengthy, not too long, but I just want to give my thoughts on it before I start to forget some things as it progresses. So this gentleman has kids with his ex, and a lot of women do put up roadblocks, guys, believe it or not. I'm not saying that there aren't dudes that want things a certain way and still want to clap the cheeks. If they don't clap the cheeks, they don't want to have nothing to do with their kids, which I think is insane to me. But just to know your dad came to have lunch with you or came to chill with you, especially at a young age, is dope. I tried to do that one time. For those of you who have read my book, I mentioned that at a part of my book where I had come back from Afghanistan and I wanted to surprise everybody. I flew back and I went to go have lunch with my son or whatever. And they called the principal, and she was like, I don't know what y'all got going on, and you're not on the list. And I was like, I'm not on the list. And I didn't think anything of it, but I guess it's because my ex-wife at the time was just taking care of the kids while I was in Afghanistan. I would come home every few months. But I think that's one of those important things if the school allow it. And the principal hit me with like, this isn't the place for visitation. You need to handle that in court. And I was like, what are you talking about? We were still together at this time. I was just coming back home early or coming back home to surprise everybody. And I was like, man, what? And I never, to this day, I still don't know what was going on or what was said or why they was treating me like that. But fathers, if you are, in this case, from what she's saying, if you are on the list for pickup and all that stuff, go there and see your kid. Ask, hey, can I spend lunch with them or whatever? I just want to do lunch at the cafeteria. Pay your little lunch fee and sit down with your child, man. Some kids think it's dope. But how she's going on about this, did you ever do this? But I guess Buddy was just complaining all the time, I'm assuming, about his baby mom, which a lot of you guys do. And you shouldn't be doing that, especially with a woman that you're dating like this. It should be as little issues as possible. You need to be talking bad about the baby mom or any of those other things. You handle that as a man. This woman can't do nothing to help you unless she's actively around your kids. But we can see where this is going. She's probably like, that's the last time. I'm assuming that's what she was saying before I cut it off, but I'm pretty sure she's saying something like that. Let's finish out the video, guys. Let's go.
And I never had any communication with him after that next day. He never saw me again. And it was easy for me to end communication with him because I immediately got the ick. I got the ick because during the time that we were dating, this man planned a whole trip for us out of the country. And when I say planned it, paid for everything, made all the accommodations, the only thing that we had not done is literally gotten on the flight to leave the country, right? Because he planned it for the future, right? He also made 2 trips out of the state. So he went to go see a family member out of state, and he also went to go see a close friend of his out of the state. And I'm literally thinking, if you can make arrangements and make plans to go with me out of the country, you can go see all of these other people out of the state, and you can't go to school and see your kids, and you hadn't seen them in 3.5 months because, quote unquote, the ex was so combative. You are not the person for me. You are not the partner for me. And that was it for me. It was an immediate turnoff. Now, I know that there's somebody listening to this right now saying, girl, I still would have went out the country. No, I could take my damn self out of the country. And I damn sure if I was going out of the country, I don't want the company of a bum, because that's exactly what a person is, whether they're a man or a woman, that does not prioritize their children. And I will tell you, if you are listening to this and you are single, and when I say single, I am meaning not married. You got a boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance. It should turn you off. You should get an ick. Man, if you are laying next to a woman and you know that she will drop those kids off to anybody, leave them at home just to by themselves to link up with you, it should turn you off. For you to know that her kids are not her priority. Women, ladies, it should turn you off knowing that that man ain't seen his kids in a year, 6 months, 2 years. That should turn you completely off. And the older I get, the more I've become an observer. And what I've observed is people are okay dealing with others as long as their needs are being met. And that's okay. But what I'm telling you is that you're playing Russian roulette, because your turn is going to come around, because you can't see that someone is not doing right by someone they should be doing right by, aka their kids, and then cry the blues when that character flaw comes out when they're treating you bad. Like you can't be upset. You can't be surprised. And as a mom, the easiest way for you to get me up out of your face is for you to show me that you're not prioritizing your kids. Because you ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to worry about me. So again, it's fun when you getting your personal needs met. But do not be surprised when the tables turn on your ass.
Now, there's a few things I got to say because I got to go to get my hair cut here. But this is true. I've dealt with women who laid up with me for a whole weekend while her kids were at home. Jared, that says a lot about you. These were back in some other times or whatever. I'm just like, hey. But yeah, you have women who do that, who will lay up with a man and leave the kids at home and don't ever want to go home because they don't want to deal with the kids. And either the father's not in the life, just like, it's a cycle, guys. It's just a cycle. And I always say this, when you're dealing with a woman, or if you got an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or a baby mama, and she's got a new dude in her life and she's keeping the kid from you, a light bulb as a man should go off and say, let that man see his kids. He's trying to see his kids. But I don't know what these ladies be telling the dudes. These dudes, as she said, don't want to lose out on some buns, don't want to lose out on a Lewinsky. So they're going to back a woman up in her fuckery from keeping the child away from the father. Guys, be careful with that. knowing that you never know, as you say, it could be you sitting up here dealing with this woman thinking everything is cool and whatnot, when you need to be aware. You need to be very aware of what's going on, because it could be you next, especially if you have kids by her. You seeing that what she's doing to her ex or the baby daddy, and she's gonna turn around and do it to you, bro. Be careful, guys. I'm just saying. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. I'm the best. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.